Alrighty, guys, we're back for Simic Poison, and this is an Outlaws of Thunder Junction standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We do got all four Venerated Rotpriest. Of course, it's a 1 mana, 1/2, toxic 1. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. We know this to be a very powerful ability, especially when paired with cards like Ivy, Gleeful Spellthief. 2 mana, 2/1 with flying. It is a legendary creature, rocking 3 of them in here. Whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, you may copy that spell. The copy targets Ivy. So it does say a single creature. So cards like Infectious Bite won't get copied because this ends up targeting 2 total creatures. That is, I guess, noteworthy and easy to forget. But we do have a bunch of other cards that only target a single creature, like protection spells, for example. All 4 Snakeskin Veil. I think the +1/+1 counter on the Veil is going to be huge in here because we actually have a whole bunch of ways to proliferate as well. There's also going to be other ways to give a +1/+1 counters too, like the Elusive Otter's Adventure Side. It's called Grove's Bounty. X and a green sorcery speed. Distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. Beautiful, man. Now, the Otter side of this is a 1/1 prowess, and creatures with power less than Elusive Otter's power can't block it. That's pretty good, man. So even if we're not relying on poison for the whole thing, like we still might be able to be getting a lot of damage through just by proliferating some normal +1/+1 counters. Of course, when you are proliferating, you're going to be wanting to proliferate a bunch of poison onto the opponent's face as well. So I keep saying proliferate. Well, what the heck proliferates for us in here? We got all 4 Thirsting Roots. It's either going to be grabbing a basic or just proliferating for 1 mana. Sounds decent, man. I'm interested to see if actually having all 4 of these in here is going to do a thing. Also have a Serum Snare packed in. This is going to be a 2 mana instant speed. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If that permanent had mana value 3 or less, you proliferate. It's not going to be unheard of to go ahead and drop a Serum Snare on like your own Venerated Rotpriest and then copy the Serum Snare and target your Ivy, and that's just a whole bunch of poison going to the opponent's face as well as the proliferate on the Serum Snare. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, it's not going to be unheard of to target your own things with this at all. Same concept with Fading Hope. We can kind of consider this just more protection for your things. It's not terrible to go ahead and bounce your Rotpriest back, give the opponent a poison counter, then play Rotpriest again next turn or something. What else do we got packed in here, guys? Did we go over the Aspirant's Ascent yet? It says a 1 mana instant speed until end of turn. Target creature gets +1/+3, gains flying, and toxic 1. My goodness. Let's have a single March of the Swirling Mist in here. This could be a great tempo play, but it's also just not going to be unheard of to target all of your creatures at once. If you have multiple Rotpriests on the board at that point, that is just terrific business, man. Did we go over the Thrummingbird yet? I don't know why I'm getting lost in this list for some reason. I'm kind of like all over the place. So Thrummingbird made the cut. It is a 2 mana 1/1 with flying, and when it deals combat damage to a player, proliferate. Yeah, I hope it's going to be good today. There's a lot of removal packed into standard, so every time we play with a creature that looks like it's going to be good, just kind of have to anticipate that at the very least the first one dies. So that's why it's going to be important to actually hold open protection spells as well. So sometimes you're going to wait till turn 3 to get a Thrummingbird down, or like an Ivy, for example, too. We do have a top end, guys. Check this out. Oko the Ringleader on the top end, 4 mana, 3 loyalty, legendary planeswalker. At the beginning of combat on your turn, Oko becomes a copy of up to 1 target creature you control until end of turn, except he has hexproof. It could be pretty cool to just, it could be simple things like copy a Rotpriest and then have open mana. So if Oko survives the round, for example, copy the Rotpriest, have open mana to do something cool, like an Aspirant's Ascent onto one of your own things too, get the double Rotpriest effect or something. Sounds neat to me, but Oko's also acting as card draw for the build. The +1 is draw 2 cards. If you committed a crime this turn, you discard a card. Otherwise, you discard 2. So it's going to be filtering, but if you committed a crime, then it's card draw. Interesting. So it has a -1 as well. There's not too many creatures packed in general, only 15 total creatures. And so this one can generate creatures for us. The -1 gives us a 3/3 elk. Then the -5, guys. I don't know how often we get to it, but for each other non-land permanent you control, create a token. That's a copy of that permanent. It's a similar concept, man. Just any amount of like copying Rotpriest sounds pretty darn good. The mana base, 19 land. Is it going to be enough? I hope so. Mirrex made the cut, as well as the fast lands between the coast and the Sanctum. Who endures Soaring City, even split. We're close to an even split here as well. But one of the main reasons, of course, is there's going to be a lot of moments where you want to keep open green or cards like Snakeskin Veil. But then also, if you're only seeing green, Thirsting Roots can help you find your blue source. Okay. I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. Okay, we'll see if we can get right into the first game here. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? So a deck like this can be just super, super aggressive, very explosive. But when you do have all the pieces together, like you have all the pieces together for a reason, it's a combo. So it's very combo heavy. If you don't see your combo pieces, you're probably in trouble. Like check out this hand, for example. No creatures, nothing to target with Infectious Bite. We can't even get the Poison Ball rolling. Oko here, not coming down till turn 4, and the opponent goes first. This is a mulligan. It breaks my heart to see a mulligan right at the beginning of the video, but woohoo! I didn't even look at what we had. I just clicked it, man. Uh-oh. Yeah, no, double Rotpriest. Now, good stuff, good stuff. I think we'll get rid of the Otter. Keep the land. Could ditch the land. I'll get rid of the Otter. I think that's fine. This would have been a perfect first hand with all 7. Just having that many... Yeah, that many creatures in your opener, you know? If we ditched a land, we could have used Thirsting Roots if we didn't see like a land off the top. That just doesn't seem great to me, because even if we see the 3rd mana, it's going to be fine. Got the Surveil. Oko. All right. Rotpriest, you think you survived the turn, buddy? Oh, I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. But it's good to have 2 Rotpriest, I know that much. What's nice, like going up against Dimir, of course, they have a lot of spot removal. And so at least Rotpriest punishes them for a cut down or something. However, Shielder's Edict gets around it nicely. Okay, very nice. And grab a blue off the Thirsting Roots if that's what we want. Infectious Bite isn't terrible. Start with a swing. We do have Rotpriest play. And then the Ascent, swing for 2. That'd be good. I wouldn't mind finding land off the roots for the turn, though. That way we'll have the 3rd in time for next turn. I'll just go for the generic swing. And go for Thirsting Roots. It thins the deck out, too. Oh. Okay. I was not expecting that at all. So if they block here, we do have this open. I wonder if they accept that trade. Well, it's not going to be a trade, but you guys know what I mean. Double poison, kill their creature. We don't get the poison through from the swing, but at least we get to keep the Rotpriest around. Because again, similar concept. Spot removal is pretty bad when the Rotpriest is on the board. Guys, we're up against fairies, and I'm excited about it. It's going to be awesome, dude. All right, counter onto the messenger means our Infectious Bite will actually land. Serum Snare. We don't grab a green. Serum Snare is not bad at all, is it? We go Infectious Bite, it's going to be 3 poison through. We go Serum Snare. I should save that for my card, right? Grab... I guess we'll grab green. No. We should save that for Proliferate then, right? Right? This is instant speed. We do it while they're tapped out, I suppose. Really tough decisions. This is 3 extra poison while they're tapped out, though. I think that's much better. So we save the Thirsting Root for the Proliferate when it comes time. We could get an extra poison through, but this is just so much better. Because at any point, if they do end up using that spot removal, I gotta be 100% with you. With the double Rotpriest on the board, I'm feeling pretty good. And I don't think it's gonna get to the point of the game with the Oko, but we'll see. This could easily be anyone's game. They call 1. Loses 2 life and you draw a card. That's terrifying, dude. We're going down to 14 here. Yeah, anyone's game for sure. If we go... So if we go Serum Snare, that's 3 mana. That's how we get the Proliferate through. I guess we should grab a blue source on the roots then, because we're going to need more mana. Proliferate would be great. It really would be. No, I think we'll take the 2. That's a shame. Grab the blue, and then we're not taking the 1 off the coast when we go for the Serum Snare. We could go a Serum Snare onto Talon, then we won't proliferate, but we get a swing for 2 with the Rotpriest, and then make them spend all 4 for the Talon next turn. This is some tough decisions, man. Okay. This could easily become the opponent's. So doing that is a better tempo play and more poison gets through instead of worrying about the proliferate on the snare. Thrummingbird is going to have a rough time getting onto this board. Anything that targets our own things will be perfect. Off the top. Ego Drain. Oh no. I guess Thrummingbirds out of here. However... Okay, I was going to say, if we see mana off the top, this Oko could be pretty scary for them. Ego Drain. Oh, you monster. No cards. We're completely relying, and they find a 3rd mana open. They pass it back. Mana off the top. Dude, anyone's game. Period. Do I play this? Or do we make them think we have something? No, we should play this. This could be the type of deck that runs Liliana, although I doubt that there's Liliana in here. It has been so long since we've seen Fairies. How sick is this? And, like, Fairies has some really good cards. Like, Ego Drain's kind of wild at 1 mana. You know what I mean? What did they end up doing? They activated one of their Dream Thief abilities to draw, it looks like. Go for a swing. That's 4 coming through. That means we're in danger, dude. They're feeling confident enough to swing. We really, really need to get something that targets these Rotpriests. Sheoldred. Oh, Thirsting Roots. Proliferate isn't bad. We can get 1 through with the Rotpriest. But we're going to have to keep blockers on the ground. Oh no, we're dead no matter what, aren't we? Oh no, we are. They got 4 in the air. They don't even need to swing with the Sheoldred. They can just pass it on back. Oh, that was really close. It really was. And then we will proliferate. So, okay, so if we would have hit the messenger earlier... Oh, looks like they have a counterspell. Spell Stutter. Gladly pay that extra. And proliferate. That's 9. Hey, good game, opponent. Very good game. Very nice. Oko, unfortunately, didn't do anything for us. As soon as we found the 4th mana, it was right after they dropped the Ego Drain and made us get rid of the Oko. Would the Oko have done something? Once we hit the 4th mana... would it have done something? Guys, ignore that first. I don't know why I keep doing this with my recent videos. So I rarely take my deck lists in to test games while I have the deck tracker open. Because I tend to test the deck and then change it. Not quite a bit, but I change it enough. You know what I mean? So ignore that first victory. That was just a test match. And that's like I don't even know, the third or fourth video in the last month that I've done that. Ignore the first one. I'll probably bring that up again later. Yeah, that was an interesting match, man. 9 poison. That really could have come down to a lot of different things. A few things that I could have played in a different order, and maybe we would have gotten there. But it very well could have just been me in that first one. We go first. We can't complain about this hand. Can we? I don't think so. Let's grab a green source. We thinned the deck out early. And now, I mean, there's barely any land in here to begin with. So unfortunately, this would be much better if it was one of the Snakeskin Veils. But, I mean, we probably still play the Rotpriest. Probably. Should we get that Elusive Otter down? Hopefully they just think that it's protection that we kept open. They pass it back. Oko. We'll have that on time too. Infectious Bite not hitting anything. I'd still say that this is a successful swing. We could go X's 2 on the Rotpriest. Doesn't seem great right now. X's 1 on the Rotpriest. If they fizzle this out, we lose the Otter. We'll give it a shot. X's 1. See what happens here. Poison goes through. We still have this one open, so... Okay, it wasn't anything. I was trying to show the importance of protection spells, but... I guess we swing, right? Right? I hope so. See what happens. With the 2 open. Okay, another poison gets through, and we could proliferate with the roots or just get Otter down. Probably Otter then. Make sure we have a creature on the board, even if they remove the Rotpriest or something. Looks like they were playing around protection, guys. 3 poison. Otter comes down. So if I would have just held it, maybe they wouldn't have attempted the Bitter Triumph. Because now they can just remove the Otter. And we're back to square one, even though we started the poison ball. Oh, it doesn't hit Oko, thank goodness. So they end up exiling the Rotpriest from the grave. Oh, very nice. The Ascent is excellent here. Too bad we don't have a creature to target. Keep the Ascent as a surprise and go Oko for the turn. And on the Oko, we're going to generate a creature. We do it before combat because it affects combat. Well, the Oko does at least. And I guess like you could... Yeah, you'd want to do the ability before you copy something too. So that's interesting. Also, don't do that if you think they're going to magically have some kind of removal that gets around the hexproof too. Siphon Insight. They hit a land from us. That's probably pretty good for them. Oh, they find removal for the Oko and they take 3. Thrummingbird. Okay, hello. They know we have the Infectious Bite. They know we have the Proliferate here. I will get as much poison through while we can, get the Thrummingbird down, and then Proliferate. Proliferate before the swing as well, right? Getting a lot of damage through. So just like doing everything we can while we can. They're down to 3 and they have 5 poison. Should we play around a board wipe? Yes. Yes, we should. Because they can drop their 5th, and then there's that one board wipe that I never know the name of, but it's the one that collects evidence. The Deuce, okay. So they could find spot removal for the 3/3, and maybe we get a little punished for not playing the Thrummingbird. Siphon Insight. They're looking... They definitely want to have, like, a cut down or something. GG opponent. I guess a cut down, and we still had a 3-3 Elk. Oko doing the thing there. That was excellent, man. That was really, really good stuff. Yeah. I'd like to see that the Oko Elk actually did a thing. It also got, like, some removal off of our creatures as well. Can't complain too much, I would say. Let's keep the ball rolling. Like, the opponent did quite a bit of damage to themselves, too. Like the Bitter Triumph and whatnot. Have I been calling the Bitter Triumph Bitter Reunion again, guys? Did I do that? Not just now, but like in that game. I'm not 100% certain. I always get those two names mixed up. Okay, let's see. Oh, I forgot to change my cosmetics for the build. How could I? We go first. Oh, heck yeah, we keep this, dude. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy, this could line up a little bit too well. I'm excited. Come on, Rotpriest, stick around, buddy. Stick around for 3 more turns. That's all we need you for. Ah, Swamp. Ah, jeez. Well, I guess we still try. No protection in hand anyways. Should I just start with the swing, though? Probably. Because if it was cut down, I guess... Okay, no cut down in general, but... You stay away from my Rotpriest, you monster! Decline. We could get an extra poison. That's not worth losing the Ivy over, though, by any means. Fading Hope. For 2 and Thrummingbird. Against Golgari, guys, like, we're gonna have a really hard time keeping a creature on this board. Seed Core. Golgari Toxic? Fun mirror match? What's going on? This is awesome. Fun mirror match, kinda, sorta. Different versions of a similar thing. Alright, so we go Ascent onto Thrummingbird. Copy. We go Snakeskin Veil first. It's extra just proliferate damage after the fact. Well, no, that's not worth it. We keep the protection open. And before combat, we do this. Right? And then keep Snakeskin Veil as protection. Pretty good. Proliferate. 5 poison. Snakeskin Veil available as protection. We would protect Thrummingbird, and then we could just copy it onto the Ivy. So far, the 19 land has been totally fine, right? I think so. Especially with all those thirsting roots, too. Or, yeah, I guess there's a lot of moments where we just want to use it to proliferate as well, but... Communion. I will gladly have that aura. Wait, does it? Does the aura stick around? I mean, I'll take it. How come I don't know right now? Toxic 2 onto the Ivy? Do we actually get to keep this aura? We do. How come, like, that's the first time I've seen Ivy take the opponent's aura? That's a little surprising. And we will go Snakeskin Veil onto Thrummingbird, copy it onto the Ivy, take that action, give that hexproof like that. Pretty brutal stuff, man, but they got the poison ball rolling, they swing for 3, and they proliferate. Then we have 2 on the Ivy, since we copied it on the Necrogen Communion. So they got 5 through already. Pretty good. Oko, you are not gonna do the thing right now. We got 5 swinging through, 2, 7. They got 3 on the ground. We're gonna be forced to do Fading Hope, and I think we do it on while they're tapped out. So we'll do the swing. Proliferate. 8 poison, and yep, while they're tapped out. This is very much a similar style of deck. Decline. Yep, I'll keep that. That could help us get the poison through if they only find one piece of removal. Like they remove the Ivy, for example. We keep the Thrummingbird around, poison onto it, and then Proliferate will be the last 2. GG opponent. Very nice. I'll tell you what, though. That is pretty brutal stuff. Let me view the battlefield here. That we got to copy the Communion. And honestly, yeah, it reads out, casts a spell, targets only a single creature. I don't know if I've ever seen the aura actually benefit the Ivy. Like, I'm trying to think. I'm raking my memory right now. I'm not finding anything. Let me know in the comments. Has that ever happened to you? You get any benefits off of that copying an aura? I guess if we've seen something similar in the past, maybe it would have been like the auras that remove things, like ossification or something. And that wouldn't benefit us, of course. Yeah, I'm not 100% certain there. Good stuff, man. Yeah, we really got the poison through, even though we lost the Rotpriest early on. Is 4 Snakeskin Veils enough? It sure doesn't feel like it, huh? Opponent goes first, 1 mana in hand. Otter for the turn, no way to grab more mana at 19 land. We should mulligan. We should. Oh, crap. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Oh, no. All right, we got to push the deck to its absolute limit, so... Hey, land. All right. What do you think, Otter? Do you survive the turn? No? Okay, I didn't think so. Let's go ahead. Go ahead and pass. Oh, Teamer colors. I saw Gruul and I was like, play with fire, but with Teamer colors... Oh, still could be a play with fire. Finding the third path. Cathartic Pyre. Yeah. Interesting. Slime. Slime against humanity. This will be fun. Alright, Otter. It's a little bit awkward. But at least we have protection for you. Probably mill themselves at that point. It's going to be Teamer Slime against humanity. This is going to be fun, dude. This is going to be awesome. Opponent's just bringing some fun things to the table today, huh? Did we not need this veil? I'm sad now. Okay. Thirsting Roots, grab an island. No. Grab a forest would be fine. Do it before combat because it affects combat. Yeah, forest is fine because I'm just going to do 1 Ascent for now. To make sure we still have Veil available. This gets the poison going, so that way when we have other cards to proliferate, like the Serum Snare, it also is an extra 2 damage as well. And I'd say a deck like this definitely wants us to go... Like, going up against a deck like this, we definitely have to go fast, so... For 4. Poison is established. Snakeskin Veil open for protection. They got Picklock Prankster. They're going for the mill. Dude, I'm terrified. They drop a 3rd, and then all of a sudden their slime is just huge. What is it right now? Well, they don't have too many in the grave right now, luckily. Luckily. We get to copy the Cathartic Pyre, then cast it, so we wait until they actually spend the mana here. They target you, spend the mana. Snakeskin Veil. Alright. Protection being amazing. We can double down on the Ascent. It's a good chunk of extra damage and still have the Snakeskin Veil available. I think that's okay. Right? I think it's okay. Because we also could have kept, like, Serum Snare. It's 6 damage. It could have been 8 damage if we played Veil on the same turn, but I think no matter what, we need that protection. Bonus down to 8-3 poison, and I'm not really feeling great about this one, honestly. Like, I feel like at any point the opponent's going to have more. Discard your hand, then draw 2 cards. I think they ended up missing their 3rd mana this whole game as well. Holy cow, look at those Slime Against Humanities, dude. This is exciting. This is very exciting. Look at that. That's a 4/5. We don't even get around that without the snare, but luckily we have the snare, I suppose. Then they get to do it all over again. Otter's not bad. So it reads creatures with power less than otters. Can't block it. So we could easily get it. Can we get it to 5? Can we use the Infectious Bite? The prowess on a X0 otter brings it to 3. And then we bring it to 4 on an Infectious Bite. So no, we don't get there like that. My apologies, opponent. I am thinking, buddy. I think it's Serum Snare for the turn. Bounce the Elemental. They get to play it all over again, but we get the Proliferate. We get a good swing. We have the Snakeskin Veil. Could be Otter number 2 for the turn too, but I don't think so. Oh, Elemental. We don't get the Proliferate, guys. We don't. Yeah, we don't get the Proliferate. We could go X is 1. Otter goes to 4. Power less than. Not or equal to. It is specifically less than. We can't get the 7 through regardless for the turn. All right, I think it's still going to be Serum Snare, swing for 3, because I think that's enough tempo to win next turn then. How do you guys feel about that? Could also just get Otter down and hope that they don't have removal in hand. That's probably pretty good too, because then we have 2 prowess creatures established. We don't have protection open, but now if they remove 1, it's kind of a similar concept anyways. Tough decisions there, man, for real. There's a reason I used the timeouts, because honestly, like them being at 7, there could have potentially been a way through when we have a prowess creature. With 1 more mana, I think we actually would have had 7. They use the Elemental's ability again, and they're going to play it out for 1. Oh, they find mana. This could be a huge turn for them if they have like another Elemental or something crazy. Oh, no way. When it goes down to 2, we do end up finding mana, but it's not going to do anything for us. Would have been much better last turn. Guys, the double elementals. That's something else for the opponent. Just a little bit of tempo like the Serum Snare this turn would have been huge for us. So we have Forest, Infectious Bite, double prowess. This goes up to 3. Snakeskin Veil onto the 3. Remove 1. That's a full swing, right? Okay. Okay, this is why I thought it through so extensively last time too. Like we still were able to find a way through then, because it was just Snakeskin Veil first for the prowess to make sure that we could actually kill an elemental. GG opponent. Holy cow. The opponent's deck list was cool. Yeah. So Slime Against Humanity with Hearth Elemental. Just Teamer Slime Against Humanity, and they missed a lot of mana. They ended up milling a lot of mana here. 4 land in a row they ended up milling. 5. Or maybe 6? Maybe they end up discarding a lot? Well, either way, I would consider that one. I think we got a little lucky there, honestly. About 34 minutes in. Definitely going to go 1 more for sure. Feel like these matches are pretty fast. As far as combo decks go, we're definitely seeing this do a thing. you know, when I put it up on Aether Hub, probably going to put it up as aggro combo because it is very, very much trying to do the aggressive thing. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Control? Control. We'll see, we'll see. Oh, Thrummingbird. No way to get the poison rolling here in the opening. We should mulligan, right? Especially with the opponent going first here. Looks like they dropped the mulligan too. There we go. Whoop, buddy, there we go. What do I drop? Thrummingbird? I guess. Yeah, we don't want to drop the mana. I think it's Thrummingbird. But the opponent going first, depending on what mana color they play, depends on what our first turn looks like. Novice Inspector. I think Rotpriest might be okay for the turn. So we should get the Rotpriest down and try to curve out to our best ability and just kind of hope. Okay, Boros. This could be a tricky one. Gleeful Demolition. I don't even think I block here, right? Like we do see a few different variations of Boros. I don't know if any of them run fancy things like Elspeth Smite, but you never know sometimes. I think I would just take the one. I think that's what they're considering too. Like, do I just keep the blocker or do I just... They decide to keep the blocker. And I think I agree with the opponent on that one. But they could also like double block into Rotpriest too, so I guess it depends what they think we're gonna do for the turn. And we're just gonna try to curve out, man. That's what we're gonna do. We're just we're gonna get ultra greedy with it. Boros is already an incredibly greedy list too. A very effective greedy list, mind you. But like they're kind of doing the same thing as us. Like first couple turns, like how greedy do I push it? All the greed, and then like on turn 3 and on turn 4, that's when they just slam through a whole bunch of damage, and that's what we're going to try to do with poison here. I'm kind of on the edge of my seat. You just never know with Boros, because some of them do run the case of the train card, whatever that card's called. It's gonna take me another 6 months to learn. Oh, Case of the Gateway Express. Crap, dude. That's rough, man. We don't even get the poison going. Oh no. So we could have, all right, listen. All right, if we lose this one, we can't completely blame the deck, because if I didn't go greedy, we could have easily kept the Snakeskin Veil open. Which means the Rotpriest, the most like important card in here, would still be on the board potentially. We could have kept the Fading Hope as well. I don't know if we would have dropped the Fading Hope. Yeah, just keeping protection for turn 2. I mean, it might be that simple. So if we were up against like Mono Black or something, I definitely would have kept the protection open. But I saw an opportunity for greed and I took it. It was not worth it. This time. Sometimes it is very much worth it. You could get the poison rolling with the Ascent. That's not great. We just like wait to see another Rotpriest. Might never happen. Alright. A swing for 2. And unfortunately, I think that this is heavily leaning towards the opponent, and all it took was one piece of removal. But we're gonna do our best. We got the Fading Hope. The Scry could be huge, right? We don't plan on blocking with Ivy, so we swing with Ivy. We don't mind taking the 8 because it could be... I mean, we could just die right now. You know what I mean? 4th mana comes down. It could be like Epicure into Imodane's Recruiter, and that's just how Boros rolls. We could bounce the... it's going to be Recruiter anyways. So they get that ETB regardless of the bounce, right? And then they can do it all over again next turn. We're probably going to end up just hitting one of the 3/1s. And then that's still going to be 13 damage coming through. We could take this action. It's not worth it, but if we had a Rotpriest on the board, then maybe. We don't have the double blue to play 2 of those anyways. At this point, we're just looking for another Rotpriest or something. Down to 3. Fading Hope. Hi. That's not too bad, is it? We'll go ahead and do the Ascent. And we will swing. And we will let Boros finish out the game. Darn, guys, darn. Sometimes the greed works, sometimes it doesn't. This one we got very punished just from losing that one card. So what did we learn? Even though there was a chance that Boros did not have that Boros did not have removal, if you have the Snakeskin Veil in hand, then just a little bit of patience goes a long way. Do I think that we would have had a chance if Rotpriest survived when we would have dropped the Snakeskin Veil to protect it from the case? I'm not 100% certain. I really don't know. I suppose, yes, there would have been a chance, because we did see enough mana to eventually get the Ivy down, but we didn't have a second Snakeskin Veil or something. So in their hand, they could have easily had a second Case of the Gateway Express. It's one of those things where you just really don't know entirely. So yeah, one more. Let's do it. 41 minutes in. I was going to call that the last one, but I thoroughly believe we can end on a high note here. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? I keep this. I don't question when we have an all right curve. We just keep it. No protection, though. We definitely have to talk about more protection, dude. Standard's crazy with the amount of spot removal. Oh, crap. Do I proliferate on the roots for the turn? I have nothing else for the turn. We could thin out the deck. Grab a land that we don't need. Or proliferate while we have the mana open. I guess we'll proliferate, because there are going to be games where you get them to 9 poison and then you're just sweating for the thing off the top. So hopefully that's worthwhile. And hopefully we can keep the Rotpriest around. Rotpriest number 2. All right. Hi. Hello there. Whenever Kellen Daring Traveler attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature, mana value 3 or less, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it into the graveyard. Okay, we don't see that one too often. I wanted to make sure. Rotpriest number 2. See if we have a good target for the Infectious Bite on their turn, and hope that their deck isn't the type of deck that runs protection, right? We have 2 open. Even like a Fading Hope in hand wouldn't be bad right now, you know what I mean? Wouldn't be bad protection. But maybe in some of these we saw a little bit out of order, and like, so even though I want to consider more protection in the final thoughts when we discuss it, maybe not. Because it really is as simple as just maybe having an open Fading Hope to play your Rotpriest again next turn. Whoa. Blooming Marsh. What are we up against, guys? First of all, that's Abzan colors, right? And then Relic of Legends. I'm scared. They still have 2 mana here. Hey, Jadar's a good target. All right, and they tap out to you. This is going to be brutal, man. Oh my goodness. Oh no, oh dear. I don't want it to get to their end step, though, so... Oh, okay, perfect. Perfect. Huh? Huh? What's going on? Oh, there we go, there we go. That was weird. I think it's because I clicked full control. Map token fizzles out as well. We get a nice swing at the opponent's face here. But the Elusive Otter, though. Oko could be cool. But the Elusive Otter. X is 3. Just tap out. This is brutal, man. What a draw. Oh my goodness. That's game. I would have loved to get the Oko down just for fun, but GG opponent. Oh my goodness. Total deck win rate 71%. Remember that first victory right there? I accidentally had the deck tracker open with a test game with a different version of the deck. But honestly, I'll tell you what, man, even without that first victory, the deck did pretty good today, huh? Yeah, I'd say so. Let's go ahead, hop into some final thoughts here. I got a lot to say. I think. I think I got a lot to say. Let's see. Simic Poison. Here's the deck list again, guys. My goodness. There's gotta be something with poison still floating about, right? Whether it's Simic Poison, whether it's Selesnya Poison, Golgari Poison, anything like that. There's gotta be something. The poison just is crazy sometimes, man. Like we have to investigate more. But first of all, right? We don't have too many creatures packed in. We got 15 creatures. It's going to be very important to see your creatures. That's why cards like Elusive Otter made the cut, because of the adventure side. See, in that last game, we didn't need another creature off the top. We needed something that targeted our creatures, and that's where the Adventure Groves Bounty came into play. And it was beautiful, man. That's exactly what we wanted to see. And in that game, right when we wanted to see it, too, before the opponent got to do anything fancy. Fading Hope can protect our creatures. Serum Snare can protect our creatures. Snakeskin Veil is actual protection for our creatures, right? Other than that, Fading Hope and Serum Snare is just tempo, right? The extra poison from the Ascent is awesome. I think all 4 of that makes a lot of sense to me. So some things. I could see dropping the roots down to 3 and going up the other Infectious Bite. There weren't many targets, and I guess overall, our creatures are pretty tiny too. And so if you're not buffing an otter with prowess or something, it is going to be pretty hard to hit a lot of the bigger things. Also, Infectious Bite doesn't get copied by the Ivy. Never mind. I'm keeping the Infectious Bite at 3. That actually makes a lot of sense to me still. Thrummingbird? Thrummingbird could get cut maybe down to 3. Go up like a Tameo Safekeeping or Tyvar's Stand or something, right? If we do that, the mana base should still be fine. How do you guys feel about a Tyvar Stand for Indestructible as well as just like... This could be another way too. Tameo Safekeeping is the pick if you're seeing way too much aggro. But Tyvar Stand is the pick if like you find yourself at the end of the game not worrying too much about poison and just trying to get like the last 4 damage through in general. And I think there's going to be a lot of games like that where you're actually just heavily relying on the prowess on the otter or something. So the mana base should still be fine. 61% blue, 51% green, but we still have an even split over here, especially since Thirsting Roots can mana fix for us. Actually, I did like the Thirsting Roots. My gut feeling immediately drew my attention to all 4 of them because I'm just not convinced that we need all 4. We could probably still drop 1, go up a second stand. I think no matter what. Oh, yeah. No, like having 19 land in here and thinning the deck with roots just makes your draws so good, doesn't it? But you're spending that extra mana instead of on protection or something. This is one to test. This is one to say, like, more testing required. In those matches, it didn't feel like it did too much, but honestly, maybe it did more than I'm thinking. So I like that change. Honestly, we didn't need to change anything, by the way. The deck definitely performed enough on its own, and the Thrummingbirds Proliferate actually helped out today, too. But I do think we can successfully drop it to 3 and just go up that stand and be fine and dandy. And remember, X can be 0 as well. Target creature you control gets +X/+X. That could just be +0/+0, and it gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Additionally, instead of green protection, you could opt for blue protection, like Slip Out the Back, helps you against board wipes if you're running into a lot of board wipes. If you go more blue and you start leaning heavier into blue, well, at that point, you're probably fine. If you dropped the Thrummingbird, which is blue anyways, and just go up a Slip Out the Back. Slip Out the Back is also more tempo. Did I just talk myself into Slip Out the Back instead of Tyvar Stand? I'm not sure. I'm not 100% certain. Because if you go Tyvar Stand onto a single creature, the X gets copied onto the Ivy as well, right? I believe so. Not 100% certain about that, though, right now either. Ah, man. So many little nuances that I forget sometimes. I believe the X gets copied. You guys let me know in the comments for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Stand. Definitely consider the Slip Out the Back as well. Or just consider the list as it was before. But I don't know. Like, I think you're going to get stuck on Thrummingbird a lot. End up paying your only 2 mana for it because on your third turn, you don't see your third anyways. And so you can't keep protection open for like a Snakeskin Veil. That being said, it's in here for a reason. I still think it's going to do something here and there. Oko on the top end, I'm going to keep the 2 of, man. I like having cards on the top end for when the deck does end up flooding out. And if you're not flooding out and you end up grabbing more mana with the Thirsting Roots anyways, that's fine because eventually you see Oko or you had it in hand and you were preparing for that anyways. The -1 happens to be pretty good in a deck that doesn't run a lot of creatures. Extra card filter on the +1 and then copying the Rotpriest we didn't get to see today, but man, that would have been cool. Dude, enough rambling, huh? This was pretty sick. Guys, if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. Definitely check out that description where we got that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too. If you're interested in supporting the channel that way, the best benefit over in the Patreon, of course, is the patron suggestions, which always take priority over every other suggestion. All right, guys. Yeah, definitely let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this one as much as I did. I had a freaking blast, and we got to revisit more variations of Poison. Because it just always feels like, yeah, it always feels good. Like there's got to be something in Poison. Okay, guys. Hey, I will see you in the next video.